Go! All right, photo share number, what is this, 72. 15 minutes late. We've just been gabbing, and Rui down there said, hey, we're not broadcasting. So now we are. Welcome. We solved all the world's problems in 15 minutes. We didn't get it on tape, though, so too bad. But welcome, everybody. We got Frank from sunny Northern California.
Yep.
Frank. Rui from Portugal, staying up late once again. Thank you. And Wesley in beautiful sunny Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Welcome. You got a fair amount of images in here, and we were just all lamenting about how we hadn't really done much photography in the last week, so hopefully we can all get out in the next week or two and make some more images. But in the meantime, fear not, we have some images to review in the group on Flickr, so I'm going to go ahead and start the screen share here and see what we have. Hopefully everybody can see this. Here we are. Everybody see that? Looks like we have 5 or 6 images here. 7. So this is I think the last one from last week, right, Wes? Yeah.
That's the one I made some changes based on your all suggestions from last week.
Oh, okay. Yes, you did.
The wall was really bright before, and it was zoomed out a little more, so I cropped in some and put a gradient filter on the wall.
Okay. Yep. It is. It does look. This is. I mean, it's still there. It's not near as bright as it was.
Yeah.
You did crop. You've got the fern is just right in the corner instead of just kind of sticking out there a little bit. Yeah, that does make a difference. And because of the crop, you're just a little closer to the flowers too.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
So I thought I would share that one based on your all suggestion.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's a neat. Some good adjustments. It did make a difference. I think I don't. Yeah, I remember the wall back here was quite a bit brighter, and now it's there, but it's not as obvious, which is fine because that's what you want is the flowers, the lilies or whatever those are, to be a little more prominent.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very nice. Oh, speaking of, I'm gonna go back and not that one. This one. Frank, this is the one you made a couple comments on. Do you notice any difference?
Well, yeah, the whites are a lot more whiter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely pops.
Up here?
Mm-hmm.
That little red thing that was
that little goober on the left-hand corner.
Yeah, and there was another goober down. There was another goober down here that I got rid of. And that was something I tried. I tried to do it in Lightroom, and it worked okay. But then I dumped this into Photoshop and used one of the healing brush, the one where it kind of I forget I don't even know all the names yet, but it kind of goes in and it did a much better job of filling it in with the surrounding area. So it came out quite a bit better. But yeah, it was just nice to kind of clean up that corner a little bit. So. Very cool. Yep. So we got 2 images with remodified based on suggestions. So that's one of the great things about kind of just going through and talking about images that you take, because as a photographer, you kind of fall in, if you really like the image, you I know I do. I kind of tend to fall in love with it. Like, wow, that's great. And then you see some of the obvious things that you first notice and you work on that, but after that sometimes it's really tough to see some of the other stuff. So it's nice to have somebody else just comment on it and say, hey, what do you think about this, or what about this? And I always notice stuff. I mean, once somebody else points it out, it's like, oh yeah, it's really obvious. I never thought about that before. So
yeah, I had an image where I submitted it for critique, and of course, you only do that with your good stuff. You don't submit garbage. And so I'm thinking this is going to get great reviews, and it's all going to be wonderful, yada yada yada, and it just got mutilated. And now when I look at it, I cannot see all the things that they had mentioned, and So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it went from a image you really liked to an image you just can't even look at anymore.
Yeah. Well, until you fix the stuff that was pointed out, that's the challenge. And I'm
Well,
kind
yeah, if it's fixable, but if you know if you maybe you didn't use the right lens or you got some distortion in there that's not fixable, then which was the case with this image, so I'll have to go back and reshoot it.
yeah, yeah. It's always a learning experience,
But
and
definitely.
hopefully, a lot of this stuff we can hopefully go back and reshoot it, like you said, maybe make some correct some of the mistakes or errors or whatever. All right, cool. So that's good. A little bit of feedback there, and here we go. First one, you got the branch falling right as the guy cut it off. I love the Spanish moss on this.
Yeah.
Nice.
The colors are super vibrant too. You got a nice blue sky with the white clouds in the background. Um, is this HDR or just kind of pumped up a little bit in
No,
Lightroom?
yeah, just pull down the highlights, push up the shadows, and
Mm-hmm.
give it some luminance and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
great. He's got that nice bright orange shirt, so if he had like a blue shirt, he would blend into the sky back there. But with the orange, it really
Yeah.
it sets him off a little bit. So is this tree totally gone at this point?
Yeah, this is the only thing I actually shot this week. Is that we had this big tree in the backyard and then another tree in the front yard that had to be taken down. So I thought, what the hell, I'll get out there and shoot it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a cool shot, and you got it right as the branch is just getting separated from the tree.
Yep.
So yeah, nice colors, texture. He's kind of in that first third there. Yeah,
Mhm.
nice. Too bad for the tree, but yeah.
Yeah, it was completely hollow in the middle. Once they cut it off, it was just like a big hole in the middle. So
Mhm.
it was getting to where it was dropping branches and stuff and getting dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. That you don't want one of those around your house when you get a windstorm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got a ton of trees in our yard, and so far all of them are in good shape. But I know in the next few years we're gonna have to have a few of them taken down. So just just the way of the world. I'd rather
Mhm.
take the tree down and have the tree take my house down. So
Yeah.
given the choice, I'd rather take that. All right, here's my one image I submitted for the week. This was from the photo walk last week with the Olympus XA. Um, I showed up with just that little camera and one 36 exposure roll of Kent Mir 100 film, and everybody else had their DSLRs with backpacks full of lenses, and it was just me with my little camera. And so I just wandered around. It was the middle of the afternoon, so it was really, really harsh light. I mean, the light wasn't great, but that makes it better for black and white, I think. So um, this is just a statue in a development uh, business, kind of mixed use development in Buckhead section of Atlanta. And I what did I shoot this at? This was probably I don't know what the F was on this. This is probably like F 5.6 or so, and right around a 500th of a second. So about the maximum shutter. The camera only goes up to a 500th of a second. That's the maximum shutter speed. And super bright light in the back. I tried to pull down. I didn't do anything in Photoshop. I just did all this in Lightroom. I got a little bit of. I don't know what this is. Maybe I don't know if it's an error in development or not. But I get that little on the wing of the glider.
Looks like lens flare.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
probably.
in and see if I can just correct that in Photoshop.
No, it's easy to do.
Yeah, bring down the highlights a little bit. There's a building back there, so I don't know if that makes a difference. It might be better just to have it bright white in the background. But I was focusing on his face, and when I zoomed in Lightroom, it was still pretty good. So I think the lens is good. I don't think there's any problems with the lens. Um, I cleaned everything off as best I could before I put the film in. So I'm pretty happy with the camera. I think it'll do a good job.
What film is it?
This was Kentmere 100, which is, I believe, the bargain basement version of maybe like Ilford standard 100 speed. I think Ilford manufactures for Kentmere. It's like an off-brand. It was
Okay.
$2.20 for a 36 exposure roll. So it was on sale at Adorama a few months ago, and I was like, I'll buy 3 rolls of that, just for giggles. And
Mhm.
seems like a decent film, you know.
Mhm. Yep.
And, it does fine. And I figured, well, if something's wrong with the camera, I don't want to I'd rather waste $2 instead of 5 or 6, for a roll of Acros 100, which I think is kind of my standard film now. Black and white 100 speed film. I love the Neopan Acros. That's kind of the film that I seem to like the most as far as the look. But
Does that camera give you a split window focusing? Is that how that works?
it's a rangefinder focus. Yeah. So.
You have to like line up the two.
Double
Yeah,
image.
it shows kind of a shadow image, and you've got to line it up left to right, depending on the orientation. And it works pretty good if there's enough light. If the light is, if you're kind of in dark, it's really tough sometimes to see the difference when you move it in and out. Now the camera itself, relatively limited as far as focus. You guys probably can't see it, but it goes 2.8 feet is the closest. Then it goes 4 feet, 8 feet, and infinity. So.
And all with a very short throw
Yes, I mean
of
it's
about an inch.
yeah the little thing down here. That's about it. So it's very quickly, and so I found myself setting it at like, because it was a bright day, I found myself setting it at like f8 and just getting it as close as I could. And if I get it, between 2.8 or 4, between 4 and 8 at f8 or f11, it's going to be close enough. The focus is going to be pretty good. So.
Yeah.
But with
It doesn't
the maximum.
It doesn't give you depth of field scale, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So
No.
you just have to use an app to find out what,
Yeah.
and that way you get hyperfocal focus, maybe get everything from
Yeah.
4 feet to 10 feet in focus or something of that nature.
Yeah, that would be the next step, is to do that. Yeah, because the other lenses on my other film cameras have the hyperfocal length, which is nice. This one doesn't, and I don't have it memorized. So.
Why not?
It would actually be
Mark,
pretty.
come on.
There's
Get
really
a
only
program.
about 3 settings. There's not that many combinations. Most of the time, you're going to use, just a few different apertures and a few feet. So you get it pretty close if you use it enough. And that was the first time I used the camera. So I like it though. I think it'll be a good camera for just out and about, kind of street photography or just wandering around type stuff. So not bad for free. And here's one that Joe submitted. Let's see. There we go. This is one image. What is it? Gel 28. I'm not a fan of pierced lips, but other than that, she's pretty. It's a nice image. She's got great eyes. And it's
Yeah, I was wondering what kind of tackle Joe was using for his models.
yeah. Yeah, it's it looks like a number 7 there. Yeah, it's she's a beautiful girl. It really is.
Oh yeah, those eyes are amazing.
Yeah, very pretty eyes and nice. Yeah, just very nice looking. And I don't know, people are into piercing. I don't mind pierced ears and type of stuff, but pierced lips just don't. It's just not my style.
Yep.
But pretty nice image, and beautiful woman. So another good job. I know now that he's in Phoenix, I think he's having to kind of rebuild the pool of models that he's working with. So it's taken a little bit of time to do that.
Where was he previously located?
Albuquerque.
Oh, okay.
He lived there for 10 or 15 years, so he'd had a pretty good, in the photographic model community, he had a lot of contacts and was able to get a lot of different models. But now in Phoenix, it's new, and there's a big difference between Albuquerque and Phoenix as far as distance. So he pretty much has to find all new models in Phoenix. That's not the same universe as far as where people are at. These next two, I think, are from Tim. Yeah.
Yep.
And his first roll at T-Max 400. And so I think and I don't know, I haven't shot, I think I've done one roll of T-Max, no, I've done 2 rolls of T-Max 100. And I thought it was a pretty good film.
I just put my first roll of T-Max 400 in my EOS 650. I haven't even shot anything with it yet, but it's in there.
Okay, good. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's super. Isn't T-Max a super fine grain? I mean, that's
what they claim.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the finest black and white film you can get.
Yeah.
Finest grain black and white film.
Okay. All right. I like the 2 rolls of the 100 that I shot. Were pretty good. I still like the look. For me, the look of the Fuji Acros just seems to fit me really well. But the T-Max is a pretty good film. It's hard on developer though, or on Fixer, for some reason. I think it wears out Fixer a little bit faster than a lot of other films. So you don't get as many rolls of T-Max through your Fixer without having to replenish or replace than you would with other films, I guess. But this is pretty nice. I mean, there's a pretty good range of contrast here.
Yeah, very nice.
Considering that it's
middle of the day,
on a bright sunny day, it's not mid-afternoon, but it's probably like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Based on the shadows.
T-Max, yeah, 400 speed. It'd be interesting to see what this is probably like f/16 or something. Because if he shot this with the AE1, I don't know what the maximum shutter speed is on that camera.
1,000.
Maybe
1,000.
1,000. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably f11 or something like that. Probably 11 or 16. It looks like it was a pretty sunny day. But,
Yeah, 3:30.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's a clock on top of the tower, so.
Oh yeah. Actually 3:25.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, this looks like it was about 3:26 in the afternoon.
Who needs a tasting?
Yeah, that's right. Who needs that? You got a 300-year-old clock on top of the tower. But yeah, I mean it's a nice range. You got the super dark, just full on black down here, and then white up here. Yeah, it's a.
You gotta have pure black and pure white in your black and white shots.
Yeah, and he's got that. He's got it right there, which is nice in the windows, and then the white on the clock face and the clouds. Yeah, a nice shot. Probably see a couple more images from that roll here, like this one. This is Halstead Library, first roll of Kodak T-Max. All right, Rui, when was this taken? Probably about the same time. I bet between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. How about that? Now, what I want to know is this like the zigzagging lines? What's up for that? Is that for the people coming back from the pubs? I don't know. That's very interesting street striping there. Yeah, that's my big question on this image. But he's got, once again, you got solid black to pretty much pure white in here, in between the windows and the clouds. So
yeah,
It's a nice.
Yeah, the zigzags have a meaning. I just don't remember what it was. Something like a traffic signal ahead or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure it means something.
Hopefully, Tim can fill us in at some point.
Yeah, a little local. We need a little local knowledge here on what that is. But yeah, it's a nice. I haven't tried to, or do I even have? I don't even know. I think I might have one roll of T-Max 400 hiding in my file drawer here. I have to go out and use it. Nice. All right, Rui, we got a couple from you here. This is cool. Rio Tejo, right? Looks like
Tejo.
Where is is this the Mediterranean or the Atlantic?
No, it's actually the river.
Oh, okay. Neither.
So yeah, this is in Lisbon still.
Okay.
So yeah, the view from Lisbon to the river.
Mm-hmm. So are we looking what? Are we looking at east
I
or
wanted
west
to catch south.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch the white from the sheets and the blue from the river and the sky. So came out with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Hey Tim, there we are.
Outside, just going from work.
Oh, okay. Glad you could make it. We just we'll get done with this one and we're going to go back. We have a question about the zigzaggy lines in front of the library. We want to know what the deal is with those.
Okay.
But so yeah, I mean the whites are super bright white.
Yeah, it was a very bright day.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have nice detail, nice texture.
Yeah, I toned it down a little bit. The highlights on Lightroom.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was very bright.
Yeah, I would say it was a bright day. Yeah, the whites was probably just almost toned down the highlights, and it's still very bright.
Yeah.
But it's not over the top. It's not blown out. So it's nice. And it's neat with the different levels, kind of going downhill. It looks like you've got the little bit of going down towards the water, and then
yeah, I was at let me call it like a balcony. Those first sheets are in the lower level. The other ones on the left are a little bit lower, and then the top of the house is, you can see at the bottom, and then sidewalk near the river.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, did you use a polarizer or anything on this, or?
No.
Okay, because that's a nice. I mean, that blue is nice and.
Yeah, it's a very nice blue.
Deep. Yeah. Very nice blue. Nice gradation too, from kind of a little lighter to really dark in the back. Then you got the blue sky. That's a nice combination of tones. Got the white and then light blue, dark blue to a lighter blue in the sky. Nice, very nice colors and shapes.
Thank you.
Very nice. I like that. It's a good combination. And we got the streetcar.
This is a tram, one of the few that actually runs through the city. And yeah.
Okay. Nice. I love the brick, the different textures, the brick in the road versus the smaller stones on the sidewalk. Nice. That's neat. That's a nice one with textures and very nice. I like that. Nice bright. Was this middle of the day too? Fairly bright in the day. You just happen to.
Yeah, this was probably. I don't think it shows in the EXIF. Yeah. Maybe it does.
158. Yeah. 2 in the afternoon, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, right after lunch or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. It's a nice color on the tram. Got the bright yellow and the.
Yeah, I wish I got an older one. all yellow without the advertisement.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I got. So
Yeah. Take what you can get sometimes, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. Neat. Neat one. I really like that. For me, that I just the bricks and the different colors and textures and sizes of the sidewalk versus the road. It's a nice,
Mhm.
nice old and the buildings. Yeah, it's nice.
And I was lucky to get it there on the shade because it was a very bright day.
Yeah, I was going to say in the
Big one.
back part of the frame, it just looks like it's
Yeah,
right in the
very
middle of the
bright.
sun. But you're getting some maybe shade from the tree here and maybe the buildings. Yeah,
Hmm.
very nice. Nice color. I like that. And is this the same road looking the other way?
No, it's actually a different part. This is the side part of a church. I just want to get the high wall
Mm-hmm.
in opposition to the road.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got the nice kind of
Got the
shadow.
parallel lines there, and then the verticals of the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got the tram, the rail line going down through the road there
Yep.
on both sides, and then and vertical the wall, which is lighter compared to the darker of that. Yeah, it's neat. And clouds in the sky. Works out well. Yep. Very nice. Cropped. I don't know. I don't know if you could crop that out or not, just right along the very right edge. But
Hmm.
other than that, yeah, it's neat. Neat contrast again. So yeah, no matter where you go, if people say there's nothing to photograph, there's always something to photograph.
Yeah.
You just have to look for it.
Well, it's photographing in your backyard. It's actually the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, anywhere except your backyard. Outside of that. All right, Tim, we're going to go back to your T-Max photos here. And let's see. So this was your first roll of T-Max 400?
Yeah, I've never tried it before. I've got to admit, I am quite impressed with it.
Okay, good.
It says the world's sharpest, and I thought, actually, as soon as I've got the negatives out of the tank, well, that is sharp. Even just looking at negative.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Yeah, and we were commenting on this that you've got the whole range here from pitch black to full white in there.
Yeah, because normally the higher ISO stuff tends to wash your blacks out, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Now this was, we figured out. We're like, oh, I wonder what time this was taken, and Rui said, well, it's about 3:30 because of the clock. But looks like it was a pretty sunny day.
It was so hot that day. That's up the top of a really steep hill. Almost killed us walking up there.
Oh, yeah. Top of the hill on High Street. There we go. So, yeah, so this is middle of the day. The sun was fairly high in the sky. So, yeah, you got a good contrast range here between the black and the white. And, yeah, there is a lot of detail in the wall of the church there.
I don't think much of my scanner will keep me to get a better scanner.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a nice image. Okay, now here's the mystery image of the day. Another nice shot, but the zigzaggy lines. I said that was to guide the people coming back from the pubs. So they've had a few drinks, so maybe this might be the way that they drive. But Wesley thinks it's to warn of an upcoming stop sign or something.
Yeah, can you not see the zebra crossing in the road?
Oh, this. Okay.
Straight in front of the library, they've got the called zebra crossings because they're black and white. Yeah, so the zigzags are to warn you're approaching a crossing.
Oh, okay. All right. Make sure you don't hit anybody that's crossing the road, I guess. Okay. All right. Now we know. I've never seen the zigzag before, but that's actually a kind of a good idea. We put the speed bumps in the road or the rumble strips on the side. Well, you, Frank, in California, driving through the Central Valley with all the fog and everything, all the bumpy reflectors they put on the sides of the road. So you can,
Yeah, the white line is reflective, and then you have what's called bots dots. Bots
mhm.
dots are those little hockey puck or reflectors they have that are dividing the lines on the road.
Mhm.
They're yellow when you're going the right direction, and they reflect red when you're, well, not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just remember that we lived in Sacramento for a couple years, and we did some driving in the winter, like down to Stockton and that type of stuff, and through just incredibly dense fog. And that was the only way you could stay on the road was to see those little reflectors. Other than that, you had no idea where you were going.
Mhm.
Absolutely no idea. So
Yeah, yeah, they can be really, really dangerous
yeah, yeah. Like, oh,
to the point where you literally cannot see the car in front of you,
mm-hmm.
or let alone what's slightly beyond your head.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Fog there is the worst I've ever seen. It just it's bad. That's for sure. Well, cool. We got some good images there. So, have you got any more good ones from that roll of T-Max, Tim? That you're
Yeah, I've got to actually, I've got to clean the negatives. I think there's some dry marks on them. I'll need to rescan them.
okay. All right. Gonna rewash them and dry them, and then scan them again.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you using to develop?
So what was that?
What kind of developer are you using?
It was the actual T-Max developer, so it was built for the job.
Good stuff.
Very nice. Yeah. That's. I've shot. I think 2 rolls. I was saying earlier. I shot 2 rolls of T-Max, but they were all 100 speed, and I used HC 110. So I've never used the T-Max developer, and I guess the T-Max developer would be probably give a little bit better sharpness.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fine-grained developer, and I've been impressed with it with the Ilford films.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're using it with the Ilford, like the HP 5 Plus and that type of thing?
Yeah, the FP4, I like that.
Okay. All right. I might need to. I'm almost out of HC 110, and they don't make it anymore, or at least not that you can get via the UPS or something like that. So I've got to find another developer, I think.
You can always, mix your own.
Yeah, that's true. I did get a couple of packets of D76 of the powder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try that with a couple rolls just to see how I like that. And I guess Ilford makes an HC clone. It's
they've got.
You could actually, if you have a good source for chemicals, you can literally go out and buy these individual chemicals and make it yourself, like a farmer's developer. I've never done that, but I've heard of people actually concocting their own mixture of chemicals to make their own film developer.
That would be interesting. I don't know. There's what's
challenge.
What is it? Photographer's Formulary, I think, is the site where I think they sell all the individual, and they have preset recipes based on other users or whatever, and I think you can buy the chemicals individually and mix and match, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be interesting. I don't know enough about development to really trust myself mixing my own. I'd probably end up with something that would just totally destroy the
blow up your house.
yeah, that too. You guys see a mushroom cloud on YouTube? That's me mixing up my own developer. But oh yeah, that's a whole area of film photography that I have not explored at all. Is kind of the really geeking out on the combination of films and developers and kind of unique processes to try to extract certain things from certain films over others. I've just gone the route of finding a developer that seems to work, is easy to use and works well in most cases, and that's why I kind of settled on the HC 110 because it lasts a long time and it posts give really pretty consistent results across a wide variety of films. So that's why I use that. But maybe now that I've done enough, it might be worthwhile to get have a couple specific developers, especially if it's a powder. That way it keeps, and I only mix it up when I need to use it for a specific type of film.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you buy the liquid, once you open it, you've only got a couple months at most a lot of times. That
Yeah,
was-
my colour's aging out. I mean, that's going to be a right waste of money.
yeah, you said it'll last, what, 10 rolls you were saying? 10 or 12 rolls?
You can get up to 16 35 mil rolls out of it. I think I've had about 5 rolls through it, and I am at least 2 weeks beyond its life expectancy now.
Okay.
I think how much longer have I got before it gives up? So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the challenge. Once you mix it, you get a bunch of rolls, but it only lasts so long too. What do you have? Maybe 6 weeks or 2 months or something like that?
I think once it's made, you've got 6 weeks.
Okay. So what you need to do is you just need to shoot a bunch of color film and then wait. And
I think that's what I'll do. A friend of mine actually does that. He's safe and does it one big batch. I think that's probably
yeah,
right now. It's probably the best thing to do is save the films, then order the chemicals in when you're planning to do it.
yeah, and then just do it over maybe a few weeks rather than yeah. And that's been my whole problem. I didn't want to buy Liquid Developer because I don't shoot that much film. I might do 2 rolls a month, something like that. And once you mix up the liquid, it's gone in a month. You know, if you pay $9 or $10 for a batch of Developer, and it's gone in a month, you know, now all of a sudden my cost per roll goes from $2 to $4 or $5, and then it gets kind of expensive.
At that point, you might as well just have it developed.
Yeah, exactly. I can take it, and that's exactly it. I could take the black and white to a shop here, relatively local, and he'll do color for $5. So that's why I've never developed my own color. I just take it. I call him ahead of time. He says, "Yeah, I'm warming up the machine. It'll be ready when you come down. $5. You know, it's done in half an hour. I can go get lunch, come back, pick it up. It's done well." And in black and white, you know, he charges I think $5 as well. But if I can develop it myself for $1, you know, $2 a roll, I'll do it. But color, there just hasn't been the incentive to buy the chemicals because, you know, he's got the machine and he does a lot of film and people like it. And he's consistent. And it's only $5 a roll.
Considering the hassle, considering the potential for screwing up your film,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to be careful with disposal of the chemicals.
Yeah.
Like, just save what, $1?
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, black and white, I'm fine because you've got a lot of flexibility. The stuff lasts a fair amount of time. You know, if you mix it up as you go.
Right.
But yeah, it's you know, I shoot enough black and white. I've done 5 rolls of color, I think, over the last couple of years, and I've got a few more rolls of film that I'll shoot. But you know, $5 a roll for developing is.
You can't control the contrast with development times like you can with black and white film, with color film. So it's really advantageous for you to shoot and develop your own black and white, to have full control of the entire process.
Yeah, and it's not that hard, and that's one thing I've just started doing. But yeah, I mean, by varying the time of the dilution or whatever, you can try to draw out certain things or de-emphasize certain things in the film. And you know, color film C41 is C41, so
yeah,
it is what it is. You can't really play around with it, other than if you want to do it at different temperatures. Then you get color shifts, which, you know, if you want to do that, that's fine, I guess. But it's not quite the same as changing the development time by 30 seconds to get a little extra contrast or something. Not quite the same process. So, okay, well, cool, very good. I've got to get the dinner going here, but we're just right about in an hour here. Hopefully, we can get out and do some photography here in the next week or so. I probably won't. I've got images to scan though, so I'll try to post a few, and I'm hoping I can get through and do a couple before and after using Photoshop to as opposed to running like stuff that I've done HDR. That's really what my goal is to get good enough with Photoshop that I can do using masking and blending to get like an HDR effect without some of the artifacts that come with HDR processing. So that's kind of what I'm working for. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll have a before and after. I've got some good HDR shots that I'm happy with that I ran through HDR, but I want to take those same images, the base frames, dump them into Photoshop and see what I can get by masking and blending, see what I can come up with. And if I can come up with a process that makes sense, maybe I'll just switch to doing that, at least for some of the the shots that I really like. but there's a lot to learn to do that. So that's taken up some of my time learning all the Photoshop stuff. But, it'll be interesting. I've seen some really good results of doing that using is it luminosity masking?
It's one of the things, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the route I'm kind of headed down. I'm going to play around and see if I like the workflow and see if it's something that I can actually grasp and do without spending hours and hours doing it.
It's a fairly simple process of creating a layer and then blending it with the soft light, modifying the blend mode to a soft light.
Yeah.
But it's I forget the actual step of getting Photoshop to choose just the highlights that are above 50%. I guess 50% of the brightest areas it chooses, or something of that nature. And from there, you create a mask and change the blend mode, and then just the highlights tend to start to pop at that point.
Yeah, and I've seen some tutorials where they do highlights, and they also do midtones and darks using the luminosity mask. So you're designating the specific areas, and then building masks based on brightness levels, and then by picking and choosing depending on the image,
right.
you can blend them together and theoretically get a result that's as vibrant and shows as much detail and range from light to dark in an image as you would with HDR, but without some of the artifacts, the halos and the stuff that tends to happen when you do HDR.
Yeah, I think one of the pitfalls that people fall into is trying to get rid of all the shadows in a shot, because you can do that with HDR. But people would say that the shadows are the soul of the image, and if you get rid of your shadows, then what does that mean you're doing to the actual guts of your image? You're diminishing it in a way. So you got to have shadows.
Oh yeah, and I agree. And I think that the thing that I'm trying to do with the HDR, and it's been a challenge sometimes, is to duplicate at least as close as I can when I'm looking at a scene, because the human eye can see all the detail in the shadows that the camera can't in a single image. There's just not enough dynamic range, in a camera. So that's why you have to take the multiple shots and then bracket them together and hopefully get something that makes sense. And so that's the challenge. Is you do want to leave shadows in there, but to be able to blend it and have all that in there without it looking kind of cartoonish, which sometimes happens with some of the HDR stuff. And there's artifacts depending how good you are at using the software. Sometimes you get the right blend from light to dark, shadows and highlights and everything is kind of in that range. But then you start getting some extra noise and halos and fringing that you really can't get rid of. So if you can do it without having those end artifacts, then maybe that's the way to do it. So.
Yeah, and I found that to be a very difficult thing, a very common thing to run into, and I spent all this time trying to to beautify an image, and then at the end of the day, when I spent all these hours, I printed out just to find out that I basically ruined it because the artifacts. It went from being absolutely smooth to just being horrendously noisy in certain areas.
Yeah, and that's from what I understand, and I haven't tried it yet because I don't know enough about Photoshop to be able to do it. But if you can use the luminosity mask and blending halfway skillfully, you should be able to get that result in a lot of cases without some of the artifacts. But that takes time, and so that's kind of what I'm exploring. Try to figure out what the workflow is and how it works and what images it makes sense to use with or not, because it doesn't work for everything, obviously. There's no one magic bullet, I guess.
No.
It takes care of everything, but and that's was the primary reason that I decided to get Photoshop, was to be able to try to do some of that stuff, maybe a little bit more advanced, but hopefully not so all-consuming that I can actually learn how to do it. over a few month period, and not have any, and get some benefit without a lot of negatives. So we'll see. It's fun.
I think the trick is to get your images to look dynamic without looking like they've been photoshopped.
Yeah.
Because if you can see that the image has been altered, then you failed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it always helps to have a good image to start with. You can't use
Starts with
Photoshop.
capture.
You've got to have a good understanding and have a good initial base image to work with. If you don't have that, all the photoshopping in the world isn't going to do anything, probably.
That's when you post it on Instagram.
Yeah, really small image. Yeah. If you cut it down to a square, add a goofy filter to it, post it on Instagram, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for staying up late. Hope the week goes well for you. Get some photography in. If not, maybe rework on some images that you took prior and post them to the group. And for anybody that's watching after the fact on YouTube or whatever, just follow Mark's Photography Spot on Google+. I'll add you to the circle, and you can be part of the greatest Sunday night photo share and discussion on the planet. Guaranteed. All right.
About that, are you sticking with Sunday?
I think I'm going to stick with Sunday. It's seeming like it's working out better for me schedule-wise, at least for the next couple months.
Mm-hmm.
And probably it seems like it works for most people.
Works better for me.
At least as good as Saturday. And I'm just kind of looking at the next 2 months me as far as stuff that I've committed to doing on Saturday. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to get in at 6 o'clock my time on a Saturday and do it. So maybe we'll stick with Sunday and see how that works. I mean, I think especially as we get into the winter months, end of daylight saving time, that type of thing. And Sunday night seems to work pretty good for me, at least easier for me to fit into schedule, and it I think seems to work well for. I haven't heard anybody complain too much about it, so stick on Sunday and see. So that'll be the new official time. Somebody's got their turbine generator going. There full
that is probably my laptop. I've never heard it scream so much. It is
really?
Like a jet eater.
The hard drive in the laptop is just gonna move to the next dimension or something. That's good.
It's going to catch fire in a minute, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, we better log off before Tim's laptop blows up. So thanks for.
No, keep it going. I'll make a great YouTube video.
That's true. It'll go viral. We'll get lots of views.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I've been trying to get a couple of big-name photographers to pop in here. So far, they haven't done it, but I'm going to keep trying.
Okay.
So just keep your fingers crossed. I'm trying to see if I can get a few people in here. I've sent out some messages, so hopefully we can get somebody to pop in the next month or two. That'd be fun, but it'll be a secret, a big surprise whenever it happens, if it happens. Until then. Rui's going to do he's going to scan a few shots with his his camera light box setup.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to stop. I guess I can stop the broadcast. I don't know if you want to start up a new one, Rui.
I don't know. I could do that.
Okay, because I'm going to probably stop the broadcast. I've got a next half hour or so I'm going to be busy at least. But
stop the recording, you just continue.
Yeah. So if I stop, you can keep recording, or I can log off, I guess, right? How does that work? I've never.
I can do a new hangout, probably.
Yeah. Why don't we
invite everyone?
Yeah, do a new hangout and post it, and then I'll add it to my YouTube as well. I'll go and share it.
Sure.
As well. That might be interesting.
It's a 36 frame roll, so if you can join later.
Okay, you'll probably still be working on it. So
yeah.
Maybe I'll see if I can pop in. But really, we'll go and start a new hangout for the scan your film with a DSLR. Tips from a pro. Be sure to tune in.
Great title.
Yeah,
there you go.
There we go. It'll sell 1 million. You can sell it. You can make an ebook, attach a video. You'll be good to go. All right. Thanks for joining in, guys. Frank,
Thank you. See
Rudy,
ya.
Tim, Wesley, have a great week. And everybody watching, thanks. And same bat time, same bat channel next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. See you guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.